It was a normal Friday. You just got paid. You're heading out for groceries, maybe dinner with friends. You slide your card into the ATM, and suddenly, transaction failed. You try again. Same result. Your banking app won't load. The news is vague, technical difficulties. But what you don't know is this: you're witnessing a financial blackout.
John, let's start here. Is this just a scary story? Or could this actually happen?
Michael, it's not just possible, it's historical. In Lebanon, banks literally locked customers out. In 2023, Nigerians lined up for hours only to be told no cash. In Greece, ATMs limited withdrawals to just €60 a day. This isn't fiction. It's precedent. The most terrifying part? There were no sirens, no emergency broadcasts, just silence. And by the time people realized it wasn't a glitch, it was already too late. Have you ever gone to withdraw money and it didn't work? Let us know in the comments. That moment of panic? Multiply it by millions. That's what a financial blackout feels like. When things collapse, governments don't send a warning, they send a policy. They call it a bank holiday. Sounds innocent, right? But here's what it really means. You can't withdraw money. Transfers are frozen. Your financial freedom? On pause.
Wait, John, is that even legal?
In an emergency, yes. And not only is it legal, it's planned. There are documents, Fed protocols, detailing how to preserve liquidity in a crisis. Translation: they freeze the system. And here's the kicker: the laws that protect you today can be suspended tomorrow. With one executive order, one signature, one reason: public safety. Think your digital bank is immune? Ask the 1.6 million users locked out of Revolut in 2022. Or the Canadians whose accounts were frozen for donating to the wrong cause. What happens when one bank closes its doors? Panic. Then the second bank. Then the third. And soon, you've got a full-scale contagion.
So you're saying one failure can collapse the whole system?
Exactly. And in a digital-first economy, it doesn't take weeks. It takes hours. Let's paint a picture. A cyber attack hits JP Morgan. Panic tweets go viral. Millions rush to withdraw. Servers crash. The Fed steps in, but confidence? Gone. This isn't just a nightmare. In 2023, over 500 U.S. banks were put on the FDIC's problem bank list. And confidence? It's the only thing holding them together. Do you know how many banks your country bailed out in the last decade? Most don't. But your savings depend on it. Ask yourself this: if you needed $5,000 cash today, could you get it? What if your app crashed? What if the bank was closed for maintenance? What if your digital ID suddenly didn't verify?
John, this is what people fear most: losing access to their own money. So, how do we prepare?
Great question. Here's what I tell everyone. Always have emergency cash at home, secure. Keep a portion of wealth in physical assets. Gold, silver, even commodities. Split savings between multiple banks. And consider crypto not as a gamble but as a backup system. When everything depends on a screen, a glitch becomes a disaster. Pause this podcast. Check how much cash you have access to right now. If it's zero, you're already vulnerable. This isn't new. 1933 FDR closes all U.S. banks for a week. 2001 Argentina limits withdrawals to $250 a week. 2013 Cyprus literally confiscates money from savings accounts. 2023 Silicon Valley Bank collapse freezes millions.
So people always think that can't happen here. Until it does.
That's the trap. Every time people ignore the warning signs, they laugh at preppers until they become one. What's coming isn't unprecedented. It's predictable. And the people who suffer most are the ones who trusted the system the longest. If you found this eye-opening, send it to someone who still thinks the bank will always be there. Wake them up before the blackout comes.
This episode wasn't about fear. It was about foresight.
Exactly. You don't panic when the lights go out if you've got candles, food, and a plan. Same with finance. Next week, we dive into the scariest question of all. What happens when the U.S. loses global reserve status? The shift has already begun. And it won't just affect countries. It'll affect you. So subscribe, share, and stay prepared. Because your money is only as safe as the system that holds it.